2, 5. 2, 4. What is it? 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 3, 2, 4. Somewhere around 2, 4. So percentiles. So just remind me, what is this? We talk about this symbol here, right? What's this symbol represent?
17.
17th percentile. So it would be the number where what happens? What about 17th percentile? What does it mean? It's the number that has 17% of all the other data points are below it. Kick ass. So we did talk about stuff like how to interpret percentiles. I remember it was interesting because some situations a higher one's better, blah, blah, blah. But a percentile, don't give a shit about that. A percentile always means the exact same thing. This percentage is below that data point. So whatever P17 is, it has 17% of the data below it. Kabam. So how do I calculate what it is? Two steps, right? How do I calculate what it is? Remember.
17% of 10?
Yes. Well, not 10.
12.
12. Right? So I try to make a point out of this. I think the example we did had 10 numbers. Now, please, again, always, everything we do in math makes sense. It isn't stuff to memorize. So why does that process make sense? Where should the 17th percentile be? How far into the list should I go to get to it? 17% of the way into the list. Well, how long's the list here?
12.
12. So 17% of 12 should be about where the answer is. That's why it's the first step. Shit. So whenever I teach math, I want to make you guys realize it's not just memorize a process. It's why does the process make sense? And then you're not memorizing, you're just doing what makes sense. That's why some people can do a lot of math, because we realize if I had to memorize all the math I can do, ain't gonna happen. Ain't got that much space up here, right? I have to forget my own name, my mom's name, where I live, to make room. No. So, first step, 17% of 12 is 12 data points. So 0.17 times 12 is who to what? 2.04. 2.04?
Yeah.
And what do I do with that thing?
So you round it up
Good.
to 3?
Yep. So what are the only two things I can do with that first one? It is, if it's some decimal number, force it up, take that number. If it's a whole number, I average that with the next one. That's the only two things that could happen. And why do we do those things? It matches with what we did before we even talked about how to do it. We developed how to do it from just doing what made sense. That's what we did last time. Okay. So what is the third number?
31.
And what's important about the numbers, of course, they are in order. Right? Jeff just was very nice to you here. He's not going to be nice to you on this paper, but first thing is put them in order, or else this doesn't mean shit. You can make it be whatever you want to be. So 1 times 3, 31. So P17 is 31. Bam. Now I think the very last thing I did, I might have mentioned quartiles really quickly, but no. Maybe I didn't. I was like, try again, dude. All right. What do you think another name would be? I basically just gave it away. Another name for P25. What's 25% of the way through a basketball game?
Quarter.
End of the first quarter. So we can also call this Q1. Ooh. So I want you to take a few minutes and calculate what Q1 is, what Q2 is. Of course, Q2 is also P50. And what, amazingly enough, what do you think?
Q3.
P75. Kick ass. Calculate those three things for me. Go. If you need help, call me over or bug somebody next to you. Yes. Yes. Unfortunately, no. Too bad. Try it. Close, but not quite. Almost, but not quite. Because think about it. Is there a middle number in a set of 12 numbers? In a set of even numbers, is there a middle number? No. So you're going to have to average two. Yeah, so if you do the process, it'll
So
tell
it
you
would
which.
be what I said, 0.5.
Yeah, it's off by, yeah, you got to average what you said with the next one. Yeah. But, you know, it's only a set of 12, so it's easy.
And the
You're gonna
random
do that.
numbers, it's not worth
When I give you a set of 67, you don't want to do it that way.